I'm the Crazy Creative Teacher, here to answer the question on everyone's mind this week. Are the Detroit Lions going to win the Super Bowl? Well, Crazy Creative Teacher is going to answer that right now. First, it all comes down to numbers, and I'm not talking about stats, people. We're talking about two simple numbers, the number 20 and the number 4, and it is 2024. We're talking about the Detroit Lions. The last time the Lions won a major game was in 1957.
That was 67 years ago.
But here's the thing. The Detroit Lions have never technically won a Super Bowl game because it was not called the Super Bowl back then. The Super Bowl didn't actually start until 1967. But let's look at our other major teams here in Detroit. We've got the Detroit Tigers, who won the World Series in 1984. I wasn't even born yet.
We're just gonna be quiet and let...
That was 40 years ago. Next, let's look at the Detroit Pistons. They won the NBA championship in 2004.
It's happened, Detroit! You believed in this team!
That's the year I graduated high school. Don't tell anybody. That was 20 years ago. So now we have the numbers 40 and 20, but really we're looking at 20. It seems like Detroit wins things in these intervals of 20. So 40 years ago, 20 years ago, okay? So 40 years ago, we won the World Series. 20 years later, we won the NBA championship. And now, 20 years after that, Detroit is gonna win the Super Bowl. Next, these Lions have something that no other team in the NFL has. They've got grit. And I'm not just talking about a word on a cool t-shirt or a big shiny billboard that you see over 75. I'm talking about the acronym.
It's our core foundation, man. Grit.
First, let's talk about G. G stands for guts. Guts means that you have the bravery, the determination to go for what you want. Literally, that is the Lions right there. R is for resiliency, and that means the ability to overcome adversity and hardship. This is Detroit, baby. If any city has had to overcome adversity and hardship, it is us and it is our Lions. I is for intensity, and that means to have the drive and the passion. There is no other team as passionate as the Lions, and there are no other fans more passionate than Detroit Lions fans. Last, we have the letter T, which stands for tenacity. So I'm talking the ability to persevere when things get hard, to follow through. Grit. It is what Dan Campbell has established with this team, and it's what's gonna win us the Super Bowl. Also, if we're talking numbers, grit is a 4-letter word. And remember I said, this is gonna come down to numbers. Grit, 4 letters, and then we also said the number 20. It's been 20 years. It's been 20 years since we last won a major championship. We've covered numbers, 20 and 4, and we've covered the word grit. But now we're gonna talk about color. The Detroit Lions proudly wear the color blue. A survey spanning 10 countries found that the color blue is the most popular throughout the entire world. Well, the Lions rep the color blue, but not just any blue. We're talking Honolulu blue. That's just fun to say. Say it with me. Honolulu blue. Honolulu blue. And I did say we were talking about numbers. The word blue, B-L-U-E, has 4 letters. Last but not least, for the Crazy Creative Teacher to answer the question, are the Detroit Lions going to win the Super Bowl? Let's look at the word Super Bowl. And let's look at some of our best players on the Detroit Lions team. We've got the letter S. Well, we've got Amon-Ra St. Brown. Next, we've got the letter U. We've got Aiden Hutchinson.
Out of it, and Aiden Hutchinson.
P, Sam Laporta. The letter E, David Montgomery. For the letter R, we've got Frank Ragnow. For the letter B, we've got Jahmyr Gibbs. The letter O, we've got Jared Goff. W, we've got Penei Sewell. Last is the letter L, and we've got Alex Anzalone. So, you asked the Crazy Creative Teacher, are the Detroit Lions going to win the Super Bowl? And through science, statistics, all sorts of things that we learn in school, I think that you can see the answer is yes.